40th anniversary of Super Mario is almost here, and that might make you think, where in the world is the next 3D Mario, and what's the future of Mario hold? Will it be a sequel to Super Mario Odyssey, or is it going to be something completely different like Bowser's Fury? Could it be a complete open world, or is it going to be something unique? Those are all great questions. Let's get into it. Okay, so now if we take a look at how the evolution of Super Mario is taking place, you can see that this series has evolved quite a lot from the first ever 3D Mario game, which is of course Super Mario 64. Now that is a pretty fantastic 3D Mario game for the time. But now when you see the evolution till around 2017 where we got Super Mario Odyssey, arguably the last 3D Mario game, until we got Super Mario Bowser's Fury, or whatever you want to call it. That is a pretty good example of what Mario could be. Not only can you be in a semi-sorta open world, which is pretty much is open world, but in a smaller version of open world, where you can combat any single level that you want. That right there could be a big possibility for the next 3D Mario game, because Nintendo has already shown that they want to push every single Nintendo IP into an open world at some point. We've already got The Legend of Zelda, Mario Kart, and a lot of other games are open world. So it's not too far off to say that this is most likely going to happen. And what's going to be the point of the game then? If it's not level-based system, is it going to be just a standalone Bowser's Fury style of game? Well, I think so, probably. It's going to be sort of like Bowser's Fury, but different. Maybe Bowser's going to be ruling this kingdom, that you can go straight to the kingdom. It's kind of going to be like Tears of the Kingdom in a way, but you got like Peach's Castle where you can go straight there. There's going to be a boss fight. You have lives, and it's going to be a really, really hard boss fight. You can maybe say it's sort of like Breath of the Wild and sort of like Bowser's Fury, where you need to collect a whole bunch of stars. More stars that you collect, the more powerful you become. And this, mixed with the open world aspect, really comes to be a great game. You can finally fully explore the Mushroom Kingdom to the heart's content. You can have an Ice Age place on one end. You can have the Mushroom Kingdom in the center of the map, kind of just like Hyrule Castle in The Legend of Zelda. Or maybe you can have some sort of desert or any other locations from Super Mario, which would contribute to this open world. This be an exploration where you can go from different towns to different towns. You can either have some costumes and you can throw on some costumes and have fun with that. Or are you going to trade in your chips to get more powerful, like fireballs, that really does a big bonus to how much attack power you'll have? Or is it going to be something like Kirby and the Forgotten Land, where you collected scrolls that you give over to the repairman, and he or the blacksmith, whatever you want to call it, he kind of breaks them down, and then boom, all of a sudden your power-ups are super, super strong, and this really stands up to a fighting chance against, will this be Bowser? Will this be Bone Bowser? Will this be a completely new enemy? Maybe Bowser's going to be working with you to bring this entire idea together. Now, it's probably unlikely that Bowser's going to be working together with you, but there's always a possibility of that. Now, not only that, we want to take all of these great ideas into the most considerable way that you possibly could. Now, for starters, you got to take a look at this right here. If we actually correctly drew this map, okay, so you see we got the beautiful Peach's Castle in the center, and then we have all the different places all around. Different places could most likely have different bosses from the Mario series. Inside of this Mario series, of course, you got all of Bowser's pals. They're probably all over occupying these castles, but then we can have different enemies that can be strong enemies. Enemies that are willing to fight pretty much the entire land and destroy it. That is really, really strong. Could there be different enemies from Super Mario Odyssey where these enemies were actually pretty strong, like the Chain Chomp Ball Bowser Bunny thing? Overall, it's a pretty interesting topic, you know? Mario as an open world seems to be the perfect idea, because ever since the game's release of a 3D style of Mario, we've always wanted to know, can I go to the Peach's Castle? Can I go and explore? There was certain areas that you were able to explore in certain games, like at the end of Mario Odyssey and also inside of Mario 64. There's a couple other games that you were able to explore Peach's castle, but you couldn't really leave from there, and you couldn't really explore different regions. Mario Odyssey did give you the ability to explore different regions, but it wasn't in the fullest extent of actually being able to go from here and go to point B and then go all the way over there and have a fun time getting different collectibles and essentially making Mario stronger. I personally think that this is correctly going to be the next 3D Mario. If you look at Bowser's Fury, I think that that was just a test to test the waters on what people like. And obviously that was a massive success. So just maybe could we be seeing a fully open world? And honestly, if they do a fully open world, how is the power-up system or how is even Mario system going to work? Is Mario going to get a new power-up like kind of sort of Cappy or a new companionship? Or will this be Luigi? Do you have to go and save Luigi? Do you have to save Peach or Daisy or all of Mario's friends? Will it be different Toad houses in Toad Village, kind of like inside of the movie? Because now that they have the movie out there, you gotta wonder that if they're gonna take some of those ideas from the movie and throw them into an actual game. Because that right there is a really bold strategy to making a fantastic game. Because people who've watched the movie, they're like, I've been there, I've been in this spot and this spot. If they truly make the next Mario game an open world with the Mario movie style of gameplay, and also maybe something mixed with Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, or etc., I think that it truly will be a really, really great game. It really will be a very special game. And with the 40th anniversary of Mario, is it a possibility that we could be seeing Bowser's Fury 2, or are we going to actually be seeing the next Mario game? But overall, it's a really, really fantastic approach when you look at Super Mario. Mario as a whole is a fantastic series and arguably the face of Nintendo. Not arguably, it is the face of Nintendo, unless you like The Legend of Zelda, Kirby, or whatever the case may be. But he's a very understood character, and sometimes gameplay has to change. It can't always be the same style of, well, you go to the first land, that's going to be normal land where you can go and hop all the way left to right. There you go. It's not fully 3D, but it still works. Then we got Second Island, which is underground. You're still going pretty much left to right. You see, things have to change, and we've already seen this multiple different times in multiple different games. The Legend of Zelda has definitely changed throughout the years, and honestly, it's probably for the better. Also, we can look at Pokemon. Pokemon has changed a lot throughout the year. May not be the greatest thing in the world, but it's still proven to change. Pokemon Legends ZA is looking really fantastic because of the fact that you can actually walk around and, you know, battle instead of just sitting there clicking one button. It gives you that more sense of immersion into the game. Now, other games that have changed is Kirby. Kirby has changed a lot, and honestly, Forgotten Land is probably the greatest Kirby game that's ever released. Every single game has to change at some point. So we've got to see Super Mario as a 3D open world game. It's not too far off to say that Nintendo's probably already working on this as we speak. The next 3D Mario game. Because overall, it's already been, depending on where you see it. Do you see Mario Odyssey the last 3D Mario game that we got, or do you consider that to be Bowser's Fury? But whatever the case may be, that's still a very, very long time from when we actually got this game. So overall, what do you think about this? Do you think that Super Mario is going to go into an open world style, or do you think that this is a whole lot of hooey? It's not actually going to happen, but I hope it does. Anyways, what do you think about this? Thank you so much for watching. Hope that you enjoyed. And with that being said, see you in the next one. Have a fantastic day, by the way.